Ooh. Hey. I'm doing my shit, but wait a minute, nigga be saying too much. I don't give a fuck. I'ma do my thing, man. Nigga do my little dance. Ha 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 ha. What do you do, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ivo. Back with another video on the same. I know I've been gone for a long time. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I know, man. But we're back like we never left, you feel me? Today, we're gonna be reacting to why nobody get a job. They're like, why they hiring everywhere, but nobody's getting a job, you feel me? I know your ass is freaking looking for a job and all that shit. But they ain't got your ass. You went to an interview, right? You did, innit? I know your ass did, didn't you? I've been the same, but they said about call you back, they ain't do that shit, right? So, let's go and find out what's going on now in the US or around the world. I don't know if like it's a worldwide problem right now, you feel me? So, no more talking. Let's just jump straight to the video, you feel me? Alright. Ooh, give me this. Ooh. Alright. I was wondering what's going on. A little technical difficulties, by the way. Oh, by the way, the video is by Moon, you feel me? So if you guys want to go and check it out, the video for yourself and all that, without the reaction and all that, I'm gonna put a link in the description. So go and check the video and subscribe to his channel and all that, you feel me? So follow, let's not even talk no more. Let's jump into it, you feel me?
That are apparently out there, it's harder than ever to get hired. The news is constantly telling us companies are out there. Despite the millions of job openings that are apparently out there, it's harder than ever to get hired. The news is
Facts.
Companies are desperate for workers and that there's tons of jobs just waiting to be filled. Meanwhile, there's stories everywhere of people sending out tens or hundreds of applications without ever getting a single interview.
Bro, that's true though, on the real.
So what really happened to turn finding work into a full-time job? But a few decades ago, even when there were job shortages, it was still much easier to get a good job. The advice the boomers give of putting on a tie and asking the manager for a job really worked. All it took was enough tries before you finally met someone who liked you. Today, you could try this thousands of times, and you still wouldn't get a chance.
That's true.
That's easy to notice is that the bar for entry has gotten significantly
higher. Gotta crack my knuckle, you feel me? Been in the gym for a little bit. My hands kind of stiff.
Most recent graduates, they were forced to offer a wage that would support the family. If they didn't, they wouldn't get any employees. But now the tables have completely turned, and they're only really interested in the very top % of students. What used to amount to a free entry ticket has become the very minimum of what they expect. Despite over 70% of listed jobs requiring a bachelor's degree, only a bit over 30% of American adults actually have one. But you don't just need...
Oh, man, come on now. No freaking like when it was getting the nice ass part, you feel me? Interesting part. They cut it off. Yo, hold on. Bro, you know, don't mind the way I'm trying to cut off this thing because like my mic is in front of the screen and all that, you feel me? So I gotta like move my head a little bit to see the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Work while studying full-time, which is rarely possible.
My fault, I was talking right there. Let's go a little bit back.
Just left college to have years worth of experience. Good degree, of course. You also need real-world
it was back here.
Students. What used to amount to a free entry ticket has become the very minimum of what they expect. Despite over 70% of listed jobs requiring a bachelor's degree, only a bit over 30% of American adults actually have one. But you don't just need a good degree, of course. You also need real-world experience even for so-called entry-level positions.
That's true, bro. That's what I don't understand, man. Like, why do I go to college, get my degree, then I need to have experience before I get a job I need it? Like, that don't make no sense. If I went to school and I came for to get a job, I understand you gotta go for internship and all that. So most people be doing internship and all that. But most of us don't be going for internship, man. I'm not gonna say most of us. Hey, y'all don't come and attack me and all that, you feel me? Don't be saying like, yo, I ain't no freaking study or, but like, I tried to apply for some internship, I did not get into it, so it's not my fault. So what can I do about it? But like I'm saying, most of us don't get internship and all that. So what we supposed to do? What? Now you're gonna leave college? Your ass gonna go freaking like to McDonald's and shit and freaking working there at fast food, running your ass there for a minute. Like most, like, or you probably gonna freaking go and join the military. I'm not gonna lie. I got one more semester right now. If this YouTube thing don't even work, bro, I'm gonna put some juke Dennis, man. I'm gonna go to the military for real. Like that ass. Like I get paid. I'm gonna get a haircut. Fuck you talking about? A demon baby. Who knows?
There are some people who have just left college have years worth of experience, all for a salary they can barely survive on. The only way to get this is to work while studying full time, which is rarely possible if you need to do an internship for the field you plan on entering. The past always looks better in hindsight, of course. There were still job shortages and people still got rejected, but the key difference between then and now is the massive rise in competition because of the internet. If you were a company in the 1980s looking to hire a few new employees, you didn't really have many options. Small companies could only recruit through in-person events, word of mouth, or physical leaflets posted to boards. It was a slow, long process with only a few applicants.
Yeah, that's back in them days, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't born.
Using their own judgment to figure out who would be the best fit. Large companies only had a few more tools at their disposal. With their size, they could get a foot in the door at colleges or high schools and hoover up applications that way. But even then, they were still much more limited.
Yeah.
So just think about how much this process has changed in such a short time. If any company wants a new employee, all you need to do.
So like back then, like even though like you were going to college and getting all your degrees and stuff, you weren't getting a job like that. Shit, y'all let me know that in the comment real quick. I mean, I know I don't like right now. I'm just a small YouTuber. I don't know like or some older people be watching me and all that. But if you old like you like 40s, 50s, man, just let me know. How was it back then, man? You feel me? Probably might have to call my mom after this and ask her.
Do is put a listing out on one of the many websites for that explicit purpose, and it will almost immediately be seen by thousands and thousands of people, along with a whole wave of different recruiters who will spread it even more. Without any barriers to applying like showing up in person, these jobs can get thousands of applicants. There's no reason not to try your luck, so why not send off 50 applications? As it's gotten harder,
yeah, that's how everything be, bro.
It's only gotten
this summer I'm freaking like did so many applications, bro. You never get
close business deals. You're not just making
zero. No answer at all.
Your chances of success. Recently, I've been doing a bunch of traveling, and I've been trying to operate my business through just my personal phone. It was a terrible idea. You can't really communicate with people properly. You're trying to manage all these different sections of your business with multiple apps.
Sorry, Moon, bro. You're dropping your ad. I'm sorry.
How you feel
Come on, yeah.
Detailed.
I respect you, but like, yo,
for applicants.
come on now.
Than it is today. The real devil is in the details. Even with all of these changes, work really shouldn't take the real spreadsheet. To the whole hasn't really companies.
Wait, did I skip it too far?
Of your personal app and follow the company.
Oh shit.
Subscription to get technology has globalized the potential pool of competition. Exactly the same thing that's happened to dating. Modern technology has globalized the potential of your plan. It's exactly the same thing that's happened to dating. Modern technology has globalized the potential pool of competition. Finding a job or a partner used to be so much more personal.
Man, why it took me so long to freaking like find that pause, man? Oh, some slow shit. That's crazy.
Your profile has much more of an impact than pretty much anything else. And as a result, the standards have also gone up by ludicrous amounts on both job sites and dating sites. It makes people and companies think they have far higher standards because they have so much more choice. The reality on the ground though hasn't really changed, and the effects this has had on the job market have been catastrophic. It's led to the whole process getting much more dehumanizing for applicants, who have been turned into numbers on a spreadsheet. So those are the biggest reasons why finding a job used to be much easier than it is today. But the real devil is in the details. Even with all of these changes, finding work really shouldn't take hours of searching and hundreds of applications.
On the real, bro, we got technology, man.
The things that companies have done to deal with this new reality. So let's explore the different ways they found to make getting hired even harder. Today, the problem for companies has been completely reversed. Instead of not getting good enough applications to choose from, they get hundreds or thousands more than they need. Every time they need to hire someone new, it means reading through hundreds of applications and filtering out all the ones that aren't suited. In a perfect world, companies would put more time and effort into this, but we all know that hasn't really happened. Instead, they've turned to one of the most frustrating and dehumanizing parts of the modern job market: automatic rejection systems. Today, over 97% of Fortune 500
That's crazy, man.
referred to as an ATS, an applicant tracking system. The basic idea is simple. An ATS works like a sieve, filtering out any applications that don't meet whatever requirements the employer has set. When they first came into widespread use in the early 2000s with the rise of the internet, they could
So they've been using AI all this time, man. We ain't knew that shit. And people just finding out about ChatGPT now, man.
Today, ATS companies advertise
Crazy.
their services to the public like this is still the only thing they do. Companies like Greenhouse, Lever, or Workday have to admit their products automatically reject people. It's far too obvious for them to deny it, but they try to give the impression that it's only a few legal questions that do this. Of course, this isn't the case at all. Rejection questions, where giving the wrong answer puts your CV in the reject pile, are everywhere today. In fact, they're only the first hurdle an applicant needs to get past to beat the machine. As the internet becomes the main place to search
Bro,
for
I
jobs,
hear those
ATS
things,
companies
bro.
had to adapt.
Like, now, like, doing the job applications that you're taking a test, man. Like, for real. It's like, I gotta, like, make sure I said something about myself that is not true. Like, that is like, I need to say what the teacher wanna hear me saying. Basically. It's like, it's not even like my own thought. Like, when I be going to interview and I'm trying to like express, like talk about myself, and like, then when they ask me like talk about yourself and all that, like I can't be lying, man. I cannot be telling about like who, like myself personally. It's just, I know, like don't act like he's dumb, just saying some dumb shit, but like that's how you're supposed to be and all that. But like, especially when you don't have like the freaking like requirement, like you gotta just lie, like straight up.
They needed to keep up with the increasing amount of applications, so they added more rejection questions. Instead of just filtering out the people you legally can't hire, they started giving companies the option to reject people based on whatever legal criteria they wanted. Your address, your experience, any question they ask can make the difference between getting an interview or
Like,
getting
look.
ghosted. Normally, they don't.
That's like a test right there, bro.
They just rank them all based on the criteria they're using. Technically, all an ATS really does is turn tons of applications into a ranked list of candidates. If you end up
So my question is, like, think about this, right? Imagine there's this one genius who can turn your company, right? By like he's just a 20-year-old and all that. He does like his application and you just reject it. That's something like I feel like most businesses like messed up on so many like people that could have turned their like company around, man, using this method, bro. I'm being dead ass, like for real. Y'all, just let me know what you think about it.
Top, you'll never get looked at anyway. An ATS probably won't automatically reject you. It will just put you so far back in the queue that you might as well not even be there. But even this approach still left too many applications for companies to look through. To fix it, they made the ATS able to read the CV itself. Today, these systems can go through applications and pick out certain keywords they want to see. If you didn't use those certain words they wanted, you'll end up at the back of the queue and eventually get rejected. They can also read how much experience you have in certain areas.
Coding boot camps require
Come on, man.
a job. What if you could earn income while learning how to code? This is Caleb. Caleb was once a burnt-out English teacher.
Making note of everyone who doesn't make the cut. Even today, these systems are far from perfect. If you don't have the same keywords they use in the job posting, then your CV can often end up on the bottom of the pile regardless of whether you're qualified or not. Similar problems can come from how you format your CV. Some templates don't get read as well by the system, meaning they miss out important parts and unfairly reject people. There are ways to avoid this, like making sure you use the same words they use in the advert, or using a standard template that the system will be designed to read. At the end of the day though, it's not something that people should should have to do. Rewriting your entire CV every time is part of what makes finding a job in the modern world so
Like,
especially when you
that's
just get ghosted
that's too
over
much,
and over
man.
again. Pretty much every single company in the West uses these systems now, but even with almost 100% adoption, the situation could still get worse. AI is perfectly suited for use in an ATS. It's already widespread, and it makes these programs far better at understanding people's CVs and filtering people out. So companies will be eager to cut out just a little bit more of the human element from finding new employees, as they might just save a little bit extra on personnel costs. This is the crux of the problem with ATS and how they've taken over the entire process. Finding a job used to be a human experience, where you were in at least limited control of the situation. Obviously, you couldn't make it a certainty that you get hired, but you at least got a chance to make a unique impression on whoever did decide. By turning all of the applicants into a set of data, companies dehumanize the entire thing. So out of the thousands of applicants
Oh, that's crazy.
a good job, you have to stand out in spite of a system intentionally turning you into a data point on a spreadsheet. But even this incredibly infuriating roll of the dice is still the best outcome you can have when applying to one of these jobs. People talk about the 1,000-to-1 odds of getting a job once it's posted, and they might think they're over-exaggerating. In reality though, the odds are even worse. A large part of the rejections people get are because the jobs they're applying to don't actually exist. It's a problem that's only been getting worse.
Yo. I swear to y'all, man. That's the one thing that pissed me the most. You be going online trying to like find a job and all that, apply for it, and nothing. You receive nothing at all. Like literally nothing. That's like crazy
The
to me.
ratio of people getting hired to job openings in the US actually fell below 0.5 in 2023, which means at least half of all job openings are for so-called ghost jobs, which are never going to get anyone hired in the first place. So let's explore the insidious reason companies keep these listings up and why so many people's time is wasted by them. Ghost jobs are everywhere on sites like Indeed. You can apply to a job listing and wait anxiously for a response, but after weeks or months you either get rejected or you don't hear back at all. In a lot of these cases, it probably has nothing to do with you or your CV. Instead, it was all probably
That's
because
crazy.
the company wasn't planning on hiring anyone anyway. In a
Facts.
survey of over 1,000 hiring managers, over 2/3 admitted to leaving their job postings up for a month. 10% had left listings on the internet for over 6 months without filling the role. There's a ton of different reasons that companies do this today, none of which are a good excuse for the time they waste. Sometimes people already know.
Samaji,
What up?
how you been?
We chilling, man. Where you been at?
At the meals, just drinking. Now we got to sleep. Till tomorrow, man.
Catch you tomorrow, G.
Who's actually going to get the job? Some executives that might need someone to do.
Man,
Or
can't
maybe
kill
they've already
me, man.
decided on an internal candidate. Maybe they're just going to dump the workload on one of their current employees, but need to make it look like they tried to find someone else. It barely takes them any time or resources at all to drop some templated job listing online. And the longer they leave it up, the higher the chance that they'll hook that magical unicorn employee that they've been looking for. The
Like,
person
that's
who's
messed up.
qualified and
That's
experienced
really
will
messed
probably
up.
work for under market rate and won't ask for any benefits. Other times, these listings will just be there for appearances. It looks good for the company if they're growing and hiring new people, for example. They might also think that the current employees will wonder who's getting replaced and work harder to avoid it. There's a million
That's
easy reasons.
yo. I'm not gonna lie, that's really fucked up though. That's really fucked up. Like, like think about it, man. You're working every single night, like I'm gonna say every single night, every single freaking day, and then you gotta freaking worry that you might get freaking like replaced because the company just posted like something that's real enough, like they're not gonna like actually like hire somebody. But they're just doing that to just basically actually make you like scared, bro. Yo, that's scary and crazy at the same time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. Like, y'all better watch y'all.
Fake listings. The job sites will be happy to take their business. And that's another reason it's such a massive problem today. The job boards actively want dead listings. Fake listings boost their numbers and let them brag about the thousands of jobs they have available, giving this illusion of plenty even when there's only scraps on the table. These websites aren't there to cater to job seekers. They only need to do the bare minimum to stay functional. If you're not paying for it, then you're the product, not the customer. Job seekers on these sites don't have any agency. For most, it's a choice between using them or going hungry. The The real customers are the companies who post the adverts and pay for the extras. If they want to post dead listings, why would Indeed or any other job board stop them? All of these things have made finding a job that much harder. Today, it's an excruciating trial of patience unless you get unusual.
I know, Allah, it is messed up for
Of course,
you.
if there is a problem, even one that's been entirely fabricated, an industry will spring up to solve it. Middlemen and recruitment agencies used to be necessary parts of the professional world. If you couldn't get your job seen by the right people, they could bridge the gap and find good candidates for the opening. You would think that this instant communication and the ability to have your job opening seen by thousands of people in seconds would have damaged this industry, but instead the recruitment industry has grown massively in the past few decades. In the UK, the recruitment industry grew to be worth over 140 billion at the end of 2022, 20 billion more than just 3 years before that. 30,000 recruitment companies now employ over 200,000 people. For a considerable sum, they'll eventually find you a job, if they don't just string you along for more payments. Even in the best of cases, all these agencies do is reverse the changes of the past 20 years and give you a real shot at a job opening. Most of the time though, they're only really solving a problem that the wider industry created for people in the first place. It's a whole lot of money which only keeps flowing in because of how hard it is for regular people.
Yo. Like, I don't even know what to say right now, man. Like, literally, like, people are here paying somebody to find them a job. That's crazy. No, like, I'm not saying it's wrong and all that, but like, we got to this point. We got to this point, like, we pay somebody to find me a job to help my freaking CV, like, get transferred faster. Isn't that bribery? Or am I wrong? Is this bribing somebody to get a job? Right, literally, you're bribing somebody to get a job. Like,
the people to do it themselves now. So maybe you got lucky with automated systems, or perhaps you went through the hassle of dealing with recruiters. But either way, you've somehow got yourself an interview. Except even that crucial stage of the process has been changed beyond recognition. While there may be a short, often meaningless interview towards the end of the process, tons of companies have substituted that for questionnaires and tests instead. While the questions might vary, most of these kinds of tests are pretty similar. Some of them might ask you about what you would do in an imaginary situation, supposedly to test your critical thinking.
oh yeah,
Others ask the
oh
kinds of
yeah,
questions where you
oh yeah, I took so many of those. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
can either lie,
Like, those things are so dumb, man. They're so dumb.
All of them though are a complete waste of time. It hasn't stopped anyone from Microsoft.
Like,
to
truly,
Walmart
it's
or
really a
these
waste of
companies
time,
using
man.
them to sort through potential employees. In
Let
fact,
me even
big
see.
retail chains are some of the most infamous companies for just giving people these tests instead of ever actually interviewing them. Why they need to know your style?
Hey Meta, take a photo.
Yo, come on.
Sign to see if you can stack shelves fast enough is another matter entirely, but the reason Walmart is the most enthusiastic about these tests above all other companies will become clear soon enough. These tests don't come close to giving employers information on the skills and experience that candidates might have either. Most people rationally just try to figure out what answers they want you to pick. The integral question of whether you'd be a good fit, on which the entire process should depend on, has almost been completely forgotten. Today, even references are nearly always just a confirmation that you worked at a company for a certain amount of time. Any information on whether you are actually a good employee can't be given anymore because you can sue people who give you bad references.
No,
Means
that's
that
true.
Companies just don't make themselves liable. So if they don't actually
Right,
measure you
you, actually,
what's the
what
point
did I
of
say?
all
That's
these
true, like, I
actual
knew that.
tests? A lot of the time, the actual
never knew
content
it.
of the
I didn't
questions
knew that.
doesn't matter. The main thing they're testing people on is how eager they are to jump through the hoops in the first place. If you can see through the
I'm wondering
corporate
if this
language and spend the
guy
time
is even
thinking
live
about
right
what they
now.
want you to say,
I doubt it.
you're already conforming. It's also why there are often multiple different tests at different stages in the hiring process. The more of their hoops you'll jump through, the more likely you are to be a good corporate drone. Walmart's tests have the same purpose as the humiliating dances they make their employees do. They break people down just a little bit more. Another reason for these tests has nothing to do with the candidates at all. Instead, they're in place
That's messed
because
up.
the upper management has no faith in the people further down the pyramid to choose good employees. Once companies start hiring by questionnaire, they can
True.
take middle management out of the loop entirely. It means they can put even more of their faith and trust into data and spreadsheets over real human judgment. With all of the changes we've seen in hiring in the past 2 decades, a common theme has emerged. All of these changes take the power out of the hands of the applicant and put them into the hands of corporate management. The process of getting your applications noticed is an exhausting numbers game. Either getting lucky or sending off dozens or hundreds of applications is the only way people can actually survive.
I looked at the data. If you just apply
That's crazy.
a job through a job board, the odds of you getting hired were about 3%. So you got to apply to a lot of different jobs in order to have a chance to get them, and you're going to get lots and lots of just no responses.
Even if you do get through the first stage, employers will happily waste months of your time. They'll put you through endless different stages of interviews, tests, and trial periods, all to just ghost you after they choose somebody else. It's a truly
Yo,
strange
yeah.
part of our modern society. that
That's
all these
messed up,
barriers
man. I don't even know what I'm laughing. That's how like
and the
I be
reward at the end of this
when I don't know,
whole
like I don't know what to
usually
say.
a job that pays the
I
same
just like start
wage as
smiling and
the
laughing, man.
before all
Real,
of this
for
even
real.
happened. In today's economic climate, it's a question of survival. Every paycheck can make or break someone's entire life. These artificial delays have done serious damage to society and eroded what little trust there was between employers and employees. So you can play nice to try and dupe the system, but never really buy into any of the rhetoric about family or trust. Don't fool yourself into thinking these companies actually care about you, or an equal system, or any other garbage. It's a myth that everybody's hiring, as it's been shown repeatedly that there's much more to this equation than first meets
Yeah.
the eye.
Truly, man. Yo, if y'all like the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe. Like I said, I'll be dropping like bangers for the next 3 months straight. So make sure to turn on that notification bell, man, because you're not gonna want to miss these videos coming out. I promise you, man. But stay, y'all be Gucci and all that. Like, we go into a crazy world. But hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we just gotta make the best out of it, man. Y'all stay safe out there. I will out.